YouTube, I'm back and I'm gonna make a new picture. As you can see, I've worked on some stuff since last video. Well, actually, I don't really know what else to say about that. But I'm just gonna kind of try to wing it because I don't know. I don't know like one specific I'm gonna do. I just kind of have like a vague idea. So I think I'm gonna go for more realistic lips on this one. And there we go. Those are the gums. And I'm just filling in the teeth. So, since last time, I think we've kind of settled in with Ozzy. And I just kind of generally think we're doing a lot better right now. We got our pool set up, so that's pretty fun. Okay, now I'm going to color in the gums black, because I think that'd be spooky. Actually, you know what? I started like going in depth with the drawing, but I realized this is supposed to be like the outline. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, I think I'm gonna redo this because the mouth's a bit offset. Oh, okay. You know, actually, I think I want the head to be over here. And then wide eyes. Still a realistic mouth. I'm gonna stretch it out a bit though. Then re-add the lower lip. Then I'm gonna go back in with the gums. Actually, no, not gums. Okay, just checking. Is that good? Just gonna... Yeah. And then I'm going to... And that looks pretty good. And now on an above layer, I am going to work more on that. Okay, so I'm going to change my brush to the felt tip pen hard. I use this one like very often. Just kind of going around the eye. filling it in. You know what? I need to add an inner eye. Just to add to the spookiness, kind of. And then I'm gonna go, like, really into detail here. Thinner. Gonna add all these lines. Yeah, that looks good. I'm gonna leave that uncolored for now, actually, I think. But you know what? It's looking the wrong way. Gotta zoom out more often, I think. Okay, so first of all, we gotta see. Actually, I think I might have to go back a bit more. Yeah, it looks good. And actually, if I just draw a circle around this, I think I could just use the paint bucket tool, right? Yeah, that works. Go back to brush, fill in all these tiny little spots. Gonna actually do that. Okay. Gotta fill in this stuff. Because the end goal is for me to remove layer 1. Oh, there's a little thingy. Gotta get rid of that. Then back to layer 2. And let me just see what size this is. Yeah, I like that. Then I go to this. Go thinner. Can I have it like this? Yep. Okay, so I from here on out, unless if there's anything noteworthy happening, I'm gonna stop talking about my drawing, gonna go into some other stuff, like, not much to talk about, really. Well, I guess I could start off with just saying Happy Pride Month. Yeah, I guess Happy Pride Month. That's all I really got to say about that. Um, Pretty excited for the finale of The Amazing Digital Circus. I can't watch that in theaters because I'm pretty sure my little brother can't watch it, and we wouldn't just go to the theaters without him, so I'm gonna watch it at home. That'd be releasing on June 19th, so how many days would that be away? I guess, okay, so 14, 15, 16, 17, 5 days. That took a lot longer than it needed to. Okay. So you think I'm gonna do a bit of this. Just kind of lightly sprinkle it at the middle. Gonna add a new layer at the very top where I'll put a nice shine. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Although I do got to go back down to layer 2 to grab a sort of pink so I could give this nice fleshy colors, make it look all like a like bloodshot eyes, kind of. Gotta do like a redder red for that. And also lower the opacity so it doesn't do it too quickly. And I think that works nicely. Yep. Although I am gonna erase it around here, just so it, you know what? Ooh, that's a bit weird. Gonna make it even more transparent. Just kind of go over this. And that looks photorealistic. I like that. And now I'll do the other eye with the felt tip pen. Pitch black. And let me see how that pink buckets. Well, actually, first I gotta. You know what? I'm gonna remove layer 1 again, just to check in. And yeah, that looks like I can paint bucket that nice and easy. Okay, that's nice. And go back to brush, get rid of that. Then I'm gonna work on the inside again. Maybe I could try coming up with like a sort of story for this monster. I think I'm pretty good at that kind of stuff. So that would be... Oh. Or less lore, more story. The story of this monster. Because lore is like a secret underneath story. And then the story is like the main thing you're focusing on, so... And yeah, I guess come up with a story would be like nice inspiration for like the background. Usually I prefer my monsters in like a suburban neighborhood. Mostly because that's where I grew up, so kind of gives him more uh it kinda it feels like something that I could kind of come across if you get what I'm saying. I've got to turn the opacity up. Okay, so the story should be... Ooh, that's a bit tricky. Okay, so something that can help with story making is thinking, why are these things happening? So why is this monster in a suburban neighborhood? Perhaps it's a wild creature that lived in a very secluded part of a forest, and then as the forest was renovated for more housing, it then inhabited the suburbs that used to be its forest. So then, as it wanders around, it slinks in between houses. People occasionally catch a glimpse of it, but it's so strangely agile that it's usually hard to get a very good look at it. And even if you did, most would assume that it's sort of your paranoia taking over. Because, it doesn't seem likely that a monster would just show up randomly, kind of like that, so... And yeah, most people... That's not even really a story thing or quality of this monster. Guess it's just the nature of its discovery. But, as it travels across the houses more and more, then people start to catch on that it might actually be real. So they They all try to investigate it. They set up traps, try to figure out what kind of food it likes, figure out what it wants. I'm using the airbrush for this. Oh, that's annoying. Anyway. And people see this monster, though. They don't feel afraid. They sort of have a sense of intriguingness, but while their mind is telling them that this is probably gonna be the scariest thing that they've ever seen, something deep down in their gut is telling them that there might be more to this monster than just meets the eye. So they keep researching it. They want to figure out what's happening. And they do eventually figure out that it used to live in the forest before it was demolished. So everyone starts planting stuff in their backyards, hoping that it'll keep the monster from doing anything. They're not entirely sure if it's vengeful or anything, but better safe than sorry. So they plant vegetation, and occasionally they see bites out of fruit, think it's working. And one day, it stops hiding, it keeps showing itself around, and people, even though their gut is telling them it's not that bad, they still want to keep their distance. And so they do. They don't go up close to it, they just watch it from afar. But the monster doesn't feel very satisfied with all the stuff they're planting, and it comes into their homes and it raids their belongings, taking bites out of their sofas. And they don't know why it's taking bites out their sofas. So they try planting more stuff in the garden. Some even tried feeding it meat, but it doesn't seem to have a want for that. It's at that point that they realize it has grown so accustomed to their neighborhood that it no longer wants to eat plants and stuff. It now yearns for artificial materials. I think that's a pretty good story. In the comments, you could ask me, you could tell me what you think about it. I personally feel like it could use a bit of workshopping, though. I came up with it on the spot, though, so you can't expect it to be perfect. Especially since this is my first time coming up with something like that. Is that leaving some? Yeah, it's leaving some. Right now, I'm giving its lips some texture. Hold up. Real quick, I gotta fill in that stuff. Is there more things like that? Yeah, I think so. You know what? It might need to be bigger and less opaque. Maybe a bit smaller. It's hard to find just the right settings for this thing. Okay, let's see. How's that look? Bit weird over here. Maybe if I darken them up, could work. Is that good? I think that's good. And you can't even really tell there's lying there, but... And that could be a good thing. Hold up, I was just getting something off of my screen. But anyway, something weird I've noticed is that no matter what I do with my voice, I always feel like surprised. Like, is that how my voice sounds? And, that is really annoying, but I think it could have its benefits. Like, if my voice always sounds weird to me, and I could do pretty much any voice, and it'll feel the same as any other. Just thought I'd share that little bit, that little thing of information. You know what, I've been having some activities that I've been practicing on. I think it might be nice to share those. Like, I got a social group where mostly we try to like learn social skills and stuff like that. And part of that is just we kind of hang out and have fun. So that's pretty neat. And then after that, okay, so I do the social groups on Mondays. Then on Tuesdays, I have drum lessons because I'm learning how to play the drums. Then on Friday, I have well, actually, I don't know if it's always on Fridays, but I did it on a Friday, so that might be a thing. But anyway, it's for coding, and I'm learning how to make games and stuff. And I feel like gaming could be not game. I feel like making games could be a pretty good career path for me because I get to draw, I get to animate, I get to voice act for my characters, get to compose music, and of course I code. And all that stuff is stuff that's been interesting to me. So I think that making games could be my career path that I want to take. I think this is actually turning out pretty good. Yeah. Okay, now I gotta do this. And actually, you know what? I forgot to make this one's eyes look bloodshot. And then for all of these, I have to have a nice coat of white underneath them. Because otherwise, when I color in the background, it's gonna be all weird and stuff. You know? Now you probably can't. You probably can't see the process of me coloring stuff in for most of these. Some of these are actually showing a bit, but for the most part, I don't think you're gonna be able to tell that I'm coloring in this stuff very well. It's nice to have the knowledge that I'm doing it instead of just seeing me zoom in on random parts of the screen and not knowing why I'm doing it. Oh, hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Actually, probably not. Sorry, because you most likely didn't. You most likely didn't notice that anything happened because I pressed pause, and for you, it just kind of seemed like nothing. But well, I was gonna say something, but I forgot what I was saying. This might actually have to be a two-part thing because it's already been half an hour, and I haven't got much done. But regardless, I'm gonna do the best I can. Okay, just gonna do a nice solid block like this, or blob. Okay. You know what? I actually gotta do this. Yeah. Okay. This has gone by quite a lot quicker now, so that's nice. And then, gonna finish with this. Then I gotta color in the mouth, which I feel like should go right here. Then I could... Oh.